Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Thelma's Creations and more. Today I will be sharing with you, sorry for the noise, some happy mail that I received from my friend Deborah over at Junk Journal Bits and Bobs on Fulfillment Friday, which is an event they have. You can post a wish, and on August the 31st I posted a wish that I wish for some seam binding, and Deborah was so gracious enough to grant it. So she sent me some seam binding. I wound it up in this little spool little card that I made. That's how I am storing my lace and trims from now on. What I do is I wrap it around and then I leave a tail. The reason I leave the tail is because when I am looking through through the spools that I have, you know, full of trim, lace, now I have seam binding, I leave a tail so that when I am working on my journals or my crafting or whatever, I can have a tail and I can look at it and I can see the color, I can see the texture, I can see the design on the lace, right, if it's lace or whatever, and in the meanwhile it stays together, it doesn't come apart. And I use my scrap of cardstock that I have left over, and I do write the name of the person that sends me stuff so that when I am doing my my videos on the creations, or when I'm sharing my creations, I can give credit to the person that sent me the items. So she sent me this lovely, it's like a light pink colored seam binding. This one's a darker pink. This one is like a turquoise color, like an aqua color. It's real nice. I like aqua color. I like minty color, the light pinks. This one's like the minty, the aqua color. This one's like a darker beige. Beautiful. This one is like a sage green. Beautiful. And I like that it has a shimmer to it, the seam binding ribbon. I have not been able to find it locally. This is white, and see how it has a shimmer? I like that. I haven't been able to find it locally, and so I asked, on several groups if that I am in need of seam binding, and I have received some from somebody else recently, and this is a yellow, and so I am excited, and I am thankful to Brenda. In this case is Brenda. I mean, not Brenda, I'm so sorry. Deborah from Junk Journal Bits and Bobs, that she granted my wish of seam binding. Thank you so much, Deborah, for your generous spirit, and for blessing me with this seam binding. Like I said, I have not been able to find it locally here where I live, and I did not have any seam binding before. I did get some from another lady that did bless me with some seam binding, so I am happy to say that now I do have some seam binding in my crafty stash that I will be using on my creations, especially my journals. I love it. I am so grateful that you and others have shared with me the seam binding. I like it. I like the seam binding to put them in my tags for my journals that I'm starting to make, because the seam binding is very, there it is. It's very flat, very thin, and I like to loop them on my tags and also on my journaling cards that I put in my journals. So thank you so much, Deborah, for granting me these seam binding in different colors. I sure will put them to great use. Oh, awesome. I got to I got to display all of them. Like I said, I did put them in the spools. They didn't come like that. She put them in a clear bag for me, and I put them in the spools. That way, after I finish my video, I can put them in my little storage container that I have for them, and I can have them nice and ready to use. Like I said, I do leave a tail on them, so when I'm looking through them, I store them. You know what? Let me show you how I store them. What I use is a drawer organizer, and I put them in rows like this, and so they are like this. And I usually put the tails on the bottom. Pardon my sniffles, I'm still dealing with my allergies. So this is what happens. I put them in a row like that, and now I can see all the colors that I have, every trim, every lace, every seam binding. And when I am doing my creations, I'm sitting down and I'm crafting and I want some seam binding. Now I can go and I say, oh, I like this one, and I make sure this is the color I want. I look at the little tag that I left out, and if it's the color I want, I take it out and I use it, and then I put it back, and everything is nice and neat. I have tried many ways of storing my trims and laces, and by far this has turned out to work really well. I did use a tutorial from STPTERIA 18 here on YouTube on how to make the little spools using an envelope punch board. I love it. It works great, and I hope that little tip or the thing that I'm sharing will be of use to you. But I wanted to just make a video and say thank you, Deborah, for fulfilling my wish on Junk Journal Bits and Bobs. I appreciate your generosity towards me. I am humbled. I always say it. I'm very humbled by the generosity of many crafty ladies that I have come across in many groups, and their willingness to share with me what I wish for, you know, what I'm lacking in my crafty stash. So many great people out there, you know, that are generous and kind enough to share from their stash. So thank you, Deborah, so much for granting my wish of seam binding. I will put it to great use. I hope you have the opportunity to come to my channel and see the way I use the seam binding. And thank you so much for my subscribers that are loyal to me, that come and see what, you know, the generous people give me, or, you know, whatever I share on my channel. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you. And as always, my friends, happy crafting. Bye.